If we shadows have offended,
If we shadows have offended,
think but this, and all is mended.
think but this, and all is mended.
That you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear.
That you have but slumbered ere, while these visions did appear.
And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream.
And this wake and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream.
Gentles, do not reprehend.
Gentles, do not reprehend.
If you pardon, we shall mend.
If you pardon, we will mend.
And, as I am an earnest Puck,
And as I am an honest Puck,
if we have unearned luck now to scape the serpent's tongue,
if we have unearned luck now to scape the serpent's tongue,
we shall make amends ere long.
we will make amends ere long.
Else the Puck a liar call.
Else the Puck a liar call.
So good night unto you all.
So good night unto you all.
Give me your hands if we be friends,
Give me your hands if we be friends.
and Robin shall restore amends.
And Robin shall restore amends. What you just heard was a comparison of Puck's final monologue from A Midsummer Night's Dream in a modern American delivery as performed by Cassian, and then an approximate reproduction of the original Elizabethan era pronunciation, or OP, as performed by myself. First things first, I want to get something out of the way at the very start. The language that Shakespeare spoke and wrote in was modern English, an earlier form of it than what we speak today, but modern English nonetheless. Some people will call it Old English. Some people will call it Middle English. Those people are wrong. If Shakespeare used even Middle English, the closest linguistic ancestor to modern English, no modern audience would be able to follow along any of his plays without having studied the language fairly extensively. Allow me to demonstrate. Forth written on, said Timicum, that Uri Dritten would have been born in this middle earth for all mankind in aid. He chas him son a kinsman, all swilky som he wold, and where he will be born ben, he chas all at his will. Now that was a far rougher approximation of a Middle English accent than of my Elizabethan. There's a lot less information out there about how Middle English was pronounced. But not exactly Laurence Olivier, is it? And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce actual Old English, the linguistic precursor to Middle English. Linguists far more qualified than me have already done so, which I've linked in the description if you're interested. But rest assured, it is even more unrecognizable to the modern ear or eye. So hopefully that clears that little misunderstanding up. Now, my Shakespearean OP is almost entirely informed by the works of Professor David Crystal and his son Ben Crystal, a linguist and Shakespearean actor respectively. So if you're interested in the subject, you can check out the works of theirs that I used in researching this video, also linked below, and learn far more from them than I can teach you here. But as a crash course, let's look at a few of the defining characteristics which you can use to develop your own OP to impress your theatre nerd friends with at dinner. Now, the primary trait that differentiates OP from your usual stuffy received pronunciation Shakespearean delivery is that Elizabethan English is fully rhotic, whereas RP is non-rhotic. What this means is that when an R comes at the end of a vowel sound, it is pronounced, much the way many Americans do. So while in received pronunciation one might say, if we have unearned luck, in OP we would pronounce the R in unearned, and we would say, if we have unearned luck. I think that the second most recognizable trait is that the E sound in words like we, be, me, is pronounced as a far more open vowel, more of an we, be, me. Combine that with the fact that the I diphthong begins in a much lower, more neutral position, I, and this weak and idle theme becomes and this wake and idle theme. Once you've got those down, start dropping H's from the beginning of your words and G's from the ends. The simplification of speech sounds was not yet seen as a lower class or common trait. For Elizabethan people of all social strata, hands would be ans, have would be av, and yielding would be yielden. Lastly, this was before we simplified a lot of our Latinate words, so certain suffixes were still pronounced the way they're spelled. So you would have vision or consummation, where we would say vision or consummation. Or from Hamlet, you have outrageous fortune, where we would say outrageous fortune. But of course, there's a lot more to it than that, and even with all the research I did for this video, I just barely scratched the surface of original pronunciation. And I'm pretty sure that should an actual Elizabethan linguist see this video, they would find my attempt pretty shaky. But I just wanted to give y'all a quick beginner lesson on the sounds and terminology of OP. Because I think that Shakespeare far too often gets reduced to this whole inaccessible stuffiness of received pronunciation that one associates with English class and poetry recitals. And I think that hearing Shakespeare in original pronunciation and performing Shakespeare in original pronunciation can really help one remember that that Shakespeare was, during his time, very much mainstream entertainment, and it was often boisterous and bawdy and chaotic, and it catered to both the educated nobility and to the uneducated groundlings, to the everyday working class regular people, as I think all theatre should. But that's just my opinion. Until next time, I'm Rory Consalving with the Starhouse Amateur Theatre Company.